Now I got to go to a doctor a lot. I get this. I get that done. Ever since I turned 40, I'm a man. Do you know what I'm saying? A man puts his finger in my ass and then he pulls it out and goes, "You're okay." You know what? Just ask. Just say, "Howie, how are you?" There's no reason to put a finger in there. And if there has to be a finger in there, there's no reason for it to be his. How am I? Give me a second. I'll tell you. I'm okay. I'm okay. Are you okay? What? Other people have had this, right? It can't just be me. It can't just be. I was thinking that too. I'm bent over the table. The guy's got his finger in my ass. I swear to you, I was going to say to him, "You do this to everyone," right? But I didn't. Because I thought that's just going to come off jealous. But other people have had that. Steve, all kidding aside, are you familiar with this test? Steve, are you familiar? Do you know what this is? Yes, not professionally. There's no way that you should be doing this. Is it better like this or like this? Is it better? Oh, you've got astigmatism. I don't want you driving at night. I don't want you driving. But what? I don't even know what the test is. What is the test? What is it? No, I know it's prostate, but what are you testing? Like, this is what? No, that's a. Pardon me? It's for if you have an enlarged prostate. Yeah, like you're an expert. How do they know? Like, what kind of stupid test is that? That's not a good test. You would think she's a nurse. Where the fuck was she with the optometrist? I've been talking to an optometrist about my nuts and my ass, and you're a nurse. Sitting with an expert, apparently. This doesn't tell you. You would think in this millennium, they would come back with something more advanced, like a scope or a scan. What kind of nurse do you do? Nursing. Surgical nurse. So what is this? What is this? Can I say something? What is your name, miss? Kim. Take this back to the medical community. This instills no confidence. This is quiet. This is not an accurate. How accurate is this? I've had friends who were checked, like he just said, "Oh, they see how large it is." How do they know that? "Oh, he checked me, my prostate's enlarged." How the fuck do you know? How do you know it's not just a new doctor with a shorter finger? You don't know. Here's my idea, even to make us feel better. Even if you would just take a Sharpie and put a couple of notches on your finger, that'd be good. Make us feel good. You pull it out and you go, "Look, Howie, you're up to 3," which is perfect for your height. Call your mom. You're right on the chart. You're right where we wanted to see you. I get that checkup. I don't like any of the checkups. Who made you that? What are you to the nurse? What are you to the nurse? He's your son. He's what? He's going to medical school. So here's another one I want to ask you. You were the one with the expert. What is your name, sir? Zach. So do you remember when you were a little boy? When you were a little boy and you went to the doctor and you had a physical? Yeah. So what did the doctor? I remember this like clearly. The doctor would hold on. I had no pants on. He would hold my testicles and he said, "Cough." And there I am, not saying why. I would just be standing there going. And you know what I'm thinking? Where's the connection? Where does that even connect? That makes no sense. And I'm standing there going, and you know what he says to me? "You have bronchitis." And you know what? I didn't realize until I got much older how congested I was. I can't tell you how many times my mom walked in while I was clearing my throat, if you know what I mean. Did that ever happen to you, Zach? Zach's not so happy about speaking up anymore, are you, Zach? That is so weird. It's all so uncomfortable. So you're really a surgical nurse? Let me ask you a question. And all I want is what is your first name again? Kim. Okay, and all I want is a yes or a no from you, because we hear these stories at parties and I think they're bullshit and they're just hearsay, but all I want is a yes or a no from a real professional, Kim. We hear stories about people coming into an emergency room and they have a rectal exam and they find things in there that should not be in there. Kim, yes or no? Yes. Okay, the floor is yours. Before you say anything, is the lighting okay for you? Can you see it? No, you don't have to tell us the hospital, you don't have to tell us the name, but to hear it from a real professional, what was the object? What was the object? Gerbils. Nobody had fucking gerbils in there. No. How does that happen? How do you get a gerbil in there? That's the last time I go to a pet store with no pants on. I was leaning against the cage. There was 3 in there. Now there's only 2. Where'd the gerbil go? Where's the gerbil? Where is the gerbil? Medically, how do they remove that? I guess they just have the guy bend over and put some cheese on his nuts and wait. That's so weird. I don't know, like if I had a gerbil in my ass, I would die before I'd go see somebody with it. Because how do you go to the doctor's office? Can I speak to a doctor? Well, what's the problem? Were you really there for this? How do you keep a professional face? And that's why you guys wear masks, so you don't... Like, what does the person say? Did you see it firsthand? You did. So what do they say? What is a person, like I wouldn't know what to say. Can I speak to the doctor? You go to the pet store, okay, I'll buy the gerbil. Do you want the habit trail? No, I'll take care of that myself. Was it still alive? You know, I was doing a comedy show, now I'm doing a remedial seminar for the Animal Planet. I'm trying to do a show, you got questions. Was it still alive? That's what you want to know? Does it matter to you? Does it matter? I hope it wasn't. I hope it wasn't alive. It was. It was still alive. Well, that's nice. That's nice. Oh, such a cute story. Did one of the nurses take it home? Why does my gerbil smell like shit? What are you guys talking about? What are you talking about? What is that? What are you doing? What are you waving at me? You have a glow stick. Okay, so? Oh, have you ever seen this? No, we've never seen it up somebody's ass. Would you like to jam it up your ass so we can all see it? Look, you have no idea who I'm talking to about putting a glow stick. Stand up so the audience could see who's gonna... This woman... Look at them. It's not just for the young people anymore. As my last special ever, I go, did you like my special? I like the special when you're in the round. I like the special I did in the 80s. But the special where the older woman jammed a glow stick up her ass, that's the one we love. That's the one we love. I'm sorry, I don't know how to answer that sound. I've never made that sound myself. I go to a million shows and I sit in the audience and no matter how much I love somebody, I've never said, honey, this guy's great. I thank you because I think it's nice. You know what's weird? I see the people making the sounds and the people around you don't even flinch. You don't even look. I would imagine that if I was in the audience and the person sitting next to me or 2 away was going, I'd be looking at them like, what the fuck are you doing? But because it's a show, I guess you want to see people flinch? The people making that sound, try doing it in other places, like not in a theater. You know what you do it? In the elevator. I would do it no, think about this. A crowded elevator. You never know where to look. It's always uncomfortable. You're always staring at the numbers like they're gonna come up in a different order. Pick a number that you like so it makes sense to you, like 6. And then when the 6 comes up, go, whoa! And now, clear everybody out so fast, which is good. There'd be more room. I always want more room. I love being here in the hotel and in the casino, but a crowded elevator freaks me out. I don't know if you know this. I'm claustrophobic. I'm germophobic. You can't say to people, please move. I need space. I'm having heart palpitations. I'll give you a little tip. If nothing else you get out of this show, here's a tip on how to get more space in a crowded elevator. Do what I do, and if you were in the elevator with me today, I apologize, but I stand there with a very straight face, and I start smelling my finger for no reason at all. People give you space. Next time you're in the elevator, just stand there and start going, oh my God. Do you have any idea what this might be? I don't know. Where are you going? Where are you going? You press 10, this is only 6. People say goofy things in the elevator too. I was alone in the elevator, and I was coming down to do the show. And a woman, the door opens, and a woman gets in, and she goes, "You're Howie Mandel?" And I go, yes, I am. And then she says to me, "What's wrong?" And I went, "What do you mean, what do you mean, what's wrong?" And she goes, "Well, you're not smiling. You're not smiling." I was alone. Who smiles when they're alone? How weird would I look? Would you get into an elevator with me if you didn't know me and the door opened on your floor and there's just a guy in there alone, just... Who smiles when they're alone? I do so many, it's so awkward. It's so, I'll tell you another elevator thing I did today, and these are all apologies. I make people uncomfortable when I'm not trying to make you laugh. So I was in the lobby, and people were taking my picture, and some girls were taking selfies and stuff, and I was waiting for the elevator to go to my room. The door opened, and I said, "Oh, I gotta go now. I'm going up to my room." And I get in the elevator, and the door closes, and there's one woman in there in her 60s who didn't recognize me, but she saw people taking pictures of me, and she goes, Are you famous? And I said, "Well, I'm notorious." And she just looked at me. I go, "You obviously have not seen the news today. I was just released." After 20 years. Maybe you don't remember the elevator murders. 6! So I love being here. I gotta say, I wanna thank you. I wanna thank everybody, number one, for being here tonight to tape this special. I'm taping a special in my comedy club. It's my own room, Howie Mandel's Comedy Club here in Atlantic City at the Hard Rock Cafe. This is such an honor, and I gotta be honest with you, I've been doing this for 40 years, and through the 80s and 90s, I did a lot of specials. This is my first special in 20 years. I have not done a special in 20 years. And there's a good chance this is my last special, so thank you for being here. You know, in this day and age, and taping like my first special in 20 years, the comedy world is so different than it was when I started out. And political correctness, you can't do the things or say the things that you used to say when I started out. I don't know what to do. I don't know, I could lose a job. I'm on family shows. Like, I'll give you an example. I'm at a point now, I'm like, as a white, heterosexual, male comedian, at this point, with political correctness, if I see an African-American man on the beach that I don't know, as a white, male, heterosexual comedian, I'm not allowed to tickle his tummy with my lips. Anymore. Sorry, buddy, I'm not allowed to. That's just the way it was. You look disappointed. Are you disappointed? Are you disappointed? No, I'm not allowed to. It's not the 80s, it's not the 90s, it's a whole new world. Pardon me? You don't mind. Oh, you too. I was, okay, thank you. I didn't, but in the 80s, like that. I love to make, what are you saying? I'm sorry? Backlights. What about the backlights? It's too much. Now you're directing. Now you want... I love that. I'm coming out, I'm shooting a fucking special, and you want to relight it, lady. For the people at home, guess what state I'm shooting this in? Fucking Jersey. It would take Jersey. My wife my wife's very busy though. She opened up her own company. She has one of those laser hair tag, laser tag hair removal places. It's for European women's birthday parties. She's behind the bush. No, anyway, she has a boutique. She had a boutique, and I was there. I helped her because I know computers, so she set up a cash register, so I was showing her how to use it. So people were ringing their stuff up. I was there. So a woman, she had a thong. A woman just bought a thong, just a thong. And I rang it up, and she just looked at me like sad, and she goes, didn't you used to be on television? I find thong sales so much more fulfilling. I don't even understand the thong. I love the thong. Ladies, you in a thong is very sexy and beautiful, but I don't understand it. I said that to my wife, like, why would you purposely spend money to I was bullied as a child, and I had people do that to me. Like, why would you buy something that's jammed up your ass? And she said, it's not to be sexy, it's for fashion. She said it's to hide panty line. Is that true? Yes. From who? From who? You think from us? You think guys are behind you going, oh, look at her, she's not wearing any underpants, and you're going, oh, yes, I am. I'm just hiding them in my ass. This is the hiding place. I didn't realize how different women were till I started hanging out in her boutique. You use different language than we use. The word petite is a female word. Women use the word, oh, she's so petite. You have this in a petite. Men don't use the word. What man in this room has used the word petite in the last 6 months? It doesn't even roll off a male tongue. Petite, petite, petite. Oh, you know Larry's got a beard, he's kind of petite. The only petite thing I've ever done as a man, I live in LA and I have road rage, but I want to be more green. I bought a smart car. I bought one, but it's too petite for somebody. So somebody cuts me off, I go, fuck you! You guys you embrace the petiteness. You guys do you know there's size 0 for grown women? Do you know that? I didn't know that. People aspire to be a 0. Who wants to be a 0? Can you imagine that? What size are you? I'm not. I was a 6. I went on a diet, I'm gone. Here's another thing ladies do. I don't care how old you are, I don't care what shape you're in. Every woman who tries on clothing, in her mind, becomes a supermodel. And you all pose, and you all have the same stupid ass pose. You do. My wife comes out of a dressing room, she can't stand normal. She got to stand on an angle with her leg out. And she goes, Howie, be honest with me. What do you think? I think you're standing like an idiot. What the fuck is this? Guys, we try shit on, we go, is this okay? Is this all right? But women, you're on an angle with your leg out. Is there a reason for that? Is there a reason? What is it? It makes you what? It makes you thinner, skinnier. Oh, can I be honest with you? No. This does not make you skinnier. Not eating cookies makes you skinny. If this worked, fuck dieting, eat all the shit you want, stand like this for the rest of your life. Look at you, Debbie, you got so thin and so skinny. How'd you do it? I'll be honest with you, it's a trick. I heard about it in Atlantic City at Howie Mandel's Comedy Club, and I've been doing it ever since. Can you imagine, why would you do that? If you thought that this made you look skinnier, why would you do that? But I know it's an angle, but why would you spending your hard-earned money on this apparel? When are you gonna be in this position again? You're looking in the mirror and you're going, this outfit makes me look thin, it makes me look skinny, I'll take it. And then when are you like this? You leave like this. You look at me go, you know what? That's how you should all leave tonight. I'm serious. Just to see the faces in the casino of the people that weren't at the show, mumbling as you leave tonight. And I swear to God, there's no such thing as a pirouette. Anyway. People at the casino going, look at the Howie Mandel audience, they're so fucking skinny. Everybody's so skinny. I bet you this special was a benefit for anorexia. I bet you that's what it was. I do that all the time. My wife gets mad at me. It's funny why I do that in a crowded casino or in a mall. When I'm in the mall with her, I'm in the mall with my wife, and every so often, for no reason at all, in the middle of the mall, I'll go, whoa, like that, which isn't funny in itself, but if you're in a crowded mall or the casino after the show, and you go, whoa, like that, the guy right behind you, he'll do that too. And there's a great moment right when I come to a stop where he looks at me, he goes, what was it? And I go, I don't know. And my wife says, that's it? I'm never taking you shopping again. Ooh. Let me tell you about awkwardness. I'll tell you about awkwardness. I love this place. I love this club. Everybody here has made me feel at home, and really at home. I went to the bathroom all by myself. And why do you laugh? I'm totally potty trained. I don't like help. I don't need help. And somebody took me to a fancy restaurant the other day, and I went to the men's room, and they had a bathroom attendant. I don't want a bathroom attendant. I have never said, oh, I've got to do this all by myself. I've never said that. What adult in this room has walked into a public restroom and go, shit, there's nobody here to help? You don't want that. So I walked out of the stall, and I walked to the sink, and there was a man there. He didn't say anything. He just put soap on my hand. He just squeezed soap on my hand. And it was uncomfortable. I washed my hand, and then he handed me a towel, and I dried my hands, and then I don't have money for a tip. I don't carry money because I'm a germaphobe. I don't know. How much would you tip for that anyway? I mean, had he wiped my ass, that's $20. I know that because that's what Mom used to charge me. But anyway, so I said, don't worry, I'll take care of you, buddy, soon. And then I went to dinner, and I finished my dinner, and I gave the waitress my credit card, and I said, could you put an extra $5 on it for a tip and give me the cash? And she said, don't worry, sir, you can put my tip on the card. And I said, no, it's not for you, it's for the bathroom attendant. And this is what fucked me up. She goes, sir, we don't have a bathroom attendant. Who was that? Who was in there putting shit on my hand? Who does that? That's not funny. Don't laugh at that. That's my awkward discomfort. I'm always uncomfortable. I'll tell you another thing. I was also in New York, and my foot was itchy, and I called the doctor, and because I'm a hypochondriac too, I know if your foot was itchy, you would scratch. I called 911. And I went to a doctor because I was nervous that maybe is there a doctor here? Somebody a doctor? Oh, you're saying yes. There is a doctor? No. Yes. Are you a doctor? Yes. What is your name? Steve. And what kind of medicine do you practice? Eyes. So you're why? So, thank God we met you. Can we get her some shades because the brightness. Who would think that I would meet you? Does that make you, are you an optometrist or are you an actual MD? You're an optometrist, but do you know what general medicine? Would you know general medicine? Some. No. So I went to the doctor because my foot was itchy because I was nervous, and this is what the doctor told me, Steve. A doctor told me, Howie, you might have athlete's foot. I thought, how the fuck can I get athlete's foot? I am such a germaphobe. I take 3 showers a day. I've never worn the same socks twice. My shoes are new. How do I get that? And he said, well, where do you stay? And I said, I'm in hotels. And he goes, well, sometimes from the shower or the carpet. Not here, not in this hotel, but because this is all brand new. But you can get it from like a public shower or the carpet. Is that true, Steve? Yeah, yes. How the fuck do you know you're an optometrist? But that freaked me out. So even now, tonight in the hotel, when I check in, I get 24 towels, and I open the door, and I make a path. I won't step on anything. I'm like Howie Wallenda. There's no towels left. After the shower, I have to roll back to the front door to dry off. But he told me, this is what I want to ask somebody, a medical person, like even a nurse, he told me to go buy Lamisil. Have you ever heard of Lamisil? No, everybody's heard. I couldn't find a fucking doctor, but everybody's got fucked up feet. So I went to a drugstore. I won't mention the name. In New York, it's like an airport terminal. I've never seen a drugstore this big. I go in, there's a greeter. There's a young woman who says, can I help you? And I said, yes, I'm looking for, I think it's Lamisil, pardon me? Lanaking. No. You know what? I wasn't asking. And even if it was Lanacane, I don't have the authority to move you into a bonus round. What the? But anyway, I said, the woman says, can I help you? And I said, do you have Lama? And I couldn't get the word out. She goes, aisle 6, like there's a run on this kind of shit. So I go to aisle 6 and I pick up the tube. There's a tube. And on the Lamisil tube, it says, for jock itch. And there's a 1-800 number. Who calls an itchy nut hotline? Who would call that? I did, I know. Because I was alone and I had no help and nobody could help me. And so I dialed and a woman answers. Why the fuck would you put a female on an itchy nut hotline? Like what? If that was a problem, I don't want to talk to the ladies about that. So I disguised my voice. I went, hello, because I didn't want her to recognize my voice and go, Howie Mandel, what's wrong with your nuts? I didn't want her to say that. It's not my nuts, it's my feet. But anyway, I said, I have Lamisil here, and it says for jock itch, but I think I was supposed to buy something that sounded like it for athlete's foot. And this is where she fucked me up, and this is what I want to ask a doctor. I'm gonna ask a fucking optometrist. But anyway, but she said, don't worry, they're the same thing. Is that you're saying yes, Steve? They are. Athlete's foot and jock itch are the same thing. How is that possible? How is that even possible from a shower floor in a public? Who are these idiots in a public shower doing this splits so that, like, I don't want my nuts to touch the drain in my house, let alone in a public hotel for fear of getting tangled. Call the concierge. I'm tangled. So I bought it, and all I have is this tube of nut cream. That's all I had. And I'm trying to make my way through this airport terminal to the cashier, and that's all I have. And people are stopping me and recognizing me and go, Howie Mandel. And I go, yes, we love America's Got Talent. I go, thank you. And I could see that they're looking. You know that if you go to a drugstore, you look to see what somebody's carrying. And it's nut cream. And I don't want to say it's not my nuts. It's my feet. I've talked to an optometrist about this. I didn't say that. And I didn't want to hide it so it looks like I have two problems. He's got fucked up nuts and he's a shoplifter. I didn't want to say that. So this is the thought process. I don't think things through. This is my problem. I figure I can't just have one thing. I better camouflage it. I'll buy something else. What did I buy? A little bag of Doritos. What kind of an idiot am I? I've got a bag of Doritos and nut cream. Does that seem like a fun time at Howie's house? Would you come over? Let's go over to Howie's house. So then I get to the cashier. I finally get to the cashier. So a female, another female. It was a female that told me aisle 6. It's a female on the itchy nut hotline. And it's a female, I'm gonna stop for a second. I love you ladies. I love you. I respect you. I adore you. At this time in my life, the female of our I just have a little aversion. I'll tell you, okay. I've been married for 40 years. I have been married, you know, Thank you. And people say, Howie, to the same woman? Can I be honest with you? The girl I married was 23 and wild and fun-loving. This is not the same woman. Anyway, she has the same name. But I'm gonna say, I wish I had a real doctor here, not just an optometrist, but she went through a change. Like there's a physiological, as women get older, I see there's younger people here, but as women get older, I don't know how to put it into layman. She has become a bitch. Anyway, but it's a real medical thing. We took her to a doctor and the doctor said she needed hormone replacement. They gave her an estrogen patch. Not like not like a bitchy pirate, a patch. She wore it on her body and her body absorbs the estrogen and this makes her all soft and feminine again. But listen to what happened. She wears it to bed. And we did not know that it came off in the bed. And we did not know that I rolled onto it. And for 2 weeks, I was crying at every commercial. I was so emotional. And she was such a bitch. And I'm going, I'm a delicate flower. Why are you yelling at me? But then we got the patch off of me and onto her, and it's all fixed. But at this moment, I can't be around the female and the estrogen vessels that you are. So I just wanted to get out of the store. So I gave the cashier, I gave her a $20 bill. She says, do you have a quarter? It'll be easier for me to make change. I say, yes. And this is the problem. I don't realize what things look like from the outside. You have to understand that people are gathering around the cashier, and they're looking at me, and they're looking at my Doritos, and they're looking at my nut cream. And they don't know, they do not know that I am looking for a quarter. They don't know that. Oh my God.